All right, guys, so now that we've already learned how to use usted and ustedes commands, we need to go ahead and look at some irregular commands in Spanish. And we're going to look at some commands that are totally irregular, and then we're also going to look at stem changers. All right, so this lesson should be fairly short, a lot shorter than the other videos. However, you should be pausing along the way to write down these irregular commands. Because I just, again, have to be really honest with you, commands are very difficult in Spanish because there's so many different irregulars. So you remember with the preterite tense, when we were working with those 18 irregular verbs, and then we had the stem changers, spelling changers, cargar, zar verbs, all that stuff. Well, commands are harder than that, all right? Not only because we'll be learning about commands this chapter, we'll be learning about commands the next chapter. If you go on to Spanish 3, you'll be learning about more commands, more irregulars and more irregulars and more irregulars. I'm not kidding about that. So if you don't learn a little bit at a time as I teach each different group of like irregulars or each different like type of commands, then it's going to be really overwhelming later on down the road when you're trying to sort out all of these different things and remember all of them. So today, it's a short video on purpose so that you can really slow down and study the verbs, pause the video, write them down, and hopefully then be able to get those memorized and understand them before we move on to the next thing. So when it comes to usted and ustedes commands, there are only 5 total irregular verbs, all right? And these are those irregular verbs that you need to know. So ser, if you want to give a command to one person like usted that you treat formally, you would say sea. For ustedes, it would be sean. If it's estar, you would say este for one person, esten for a group of people. Ir, vaya, or vayan, dar, de, or din, saber, sepa, or sepan. Now, what's really nice about all of these irregulars is that if you try to follow the rules and do the 3 steps where you go to the yo form of the present tense, drop the yo, add the opposite ending, you're going to see that it's actually impossible to do those 3 steps, which is why these are irregular verbs. So ser, if we go to the yo form of the present tense, it's soy. How are you going to drop the O on the end? There is no O on the end. Estar is estoy. Again, no way to drop the O on the end. There isn't one. Ir is voy. Dar is doy. Saber is say. So all of these are irregular verbs when they're commands for a good reason. It's because it's impossible for them to be regular verbs. All right. So if you get stuck on any of them because you're trying to treat them like a regular verb, they will force you to remember, oh, yeah, these are irregular. So what is the irregular form that I need to take? A quick reminder, ser means to be, estar also means to be, ir means to go, dar means to give, and saber means to know. And we can't forget about our stem changers. So the nice thing about stem changers is they actually follow the rules when we are turning them into usted and ustedes commands. So they follow the 3 steps. We just need to remember that they are stem changers. So we've got our 3 different categories of stem changers here. The first category, E to IE. So we have pensar, which is to think, querer, which is to want, preferir, which is to prefer, and cerrar, which is to close. So if I want to take one of these and make a command, say I want to say close the door, so I'm going to use cerrar, then I just turn it into a command by going to the yo form of the present tense. So I end up with cierro, the E changes to an IE. I drop the O, that's my second step, right? So far we're following the steps just like we're supposed to. And then third step, add the opposite ending. So it's an AR verb, so I'm gonna add an E or EN, depending. If it's an usted command, then it would end up being cierre la puerta, close the door. If it's an ustedes command, then it would be cierren la puerta, close the door. All right, so that's how I change these stem changers into commands. I just follow the 3 steps. For E to I stem changers like pedir, to ask for, servir, to serve, competir, to compete, repetir, to repeat. Again, I just follow the 3 steps. So like if I want to say repeat that, please repeat the question, please. I would take repetir, go to the yo form of the present tense. So repito, the E changes to an I because it's a stem changer in the yo form of the present tense. I drop the yo and then I add the opposite ending. So it would be repita la pregunta, por favor. Or if I'm talking to a group of people, I could say repitan. For our O to UE stem changers, we've got dormir, to sleep, morir, to die, volver, to return, or poder, to be able to. You'll notice some of these you'd probably never use as a command. Morir, hopefully you're not going to command anyone to die, and poder, be able to. Again, just maybe some weird commands, but every verb can be changed into a command, but would you use every verb as a command? Maybe, or hopefully not. Poder, though, if you wanted to change it into a command, the yo form, you go to the yo form, first step, puedo, drop the O, and then add the opposite ending. So you end up with pueda and puedan. All right, so again, as you can see, it's really easy to form commands out of stem changers. You just have to follow the 3 steps with them. All right, so let's just do a few examples together. And you'll notice here that I went ahead and put the ustedes or usted in parentheses at the beginning of the sentence. Usually when you give commands to people, you omit your subject in the sentence. You just say, do this, do that. You don't say like the name of a person, or you don't say you or you all. It's just an implied or understood you. But of course, you need to know how to conjugate the verb because there's no context in these sentences. So número 1, ustedes ir a la iglesia cada domingo. So go to church, all of you, go to church every Sunday. Ir is an irregular verb. It's vaya or vayan. So in this case, it's going to be vayan because it is ustedes. Número 2, usted cerrar la puerta. So you, close the door. It's a stem changer. Cerrar is an E to IE stem changer. Okay, so we're going to change the E to an IE. Drop the O off the end, take off our ending. And then we're going to add the opposite ending. It's going to be E in this case, since our subject is usted. So usted cierre la puerta. Actually, when I say it, though, you just say cierre la puerta. The usted is understood. Número 3, usted no dar comida a los perros. So you don't give food to the dogs. Dar is an irregular verb, so it's no de. Notice that there's an accent mark over it. If we don't put an accent mark over it, what does it become? Well, de means like of or from, right? So the accent mark is kind of important. Número 4, ustedes no dormir en la clase de inglés. So don't sleep in English class. Dormir is a O-to-U-E stem changer. So let's go ahead and take care of the stem change first. And then let's take care of our ending. It's ustedes, so we need to add an A-N or an E-end. Since it was an IR verb, we're going to add an A-N. So, no duerman en la clase de inglés. Número 5, usted repetir los números. So, repeat the numbers. It is a stem changer. It's an E to I stem changer. So, repeat. And then we had our opposite ending, so repita los números. Repeat the numbers, all right? That's all we're going to cover today. We'll do more practice in class. Adios, amigos.